Nearly 1 in 3 adults in America are overweight, and roughly 10% of those people are on a GLP-1. So what is a GLP-1 and how does it work? GLP stands for glucagon-like peptide. It's a hormone that's secreted by your digestive system to decrease your appetite and increase your insulin production. This hormone was first discovered in about the 1980s. When they first discovered the gene in its natural state, they realized it only stays in the body for just a few minutes, making it almost impossible to use in humans because who would want to inject themselves after each meal? Scientists and drug companies knew that the longer that GLP-1 stayed in the system, the more insulin that the body would produce. So they invented new copies of this GLP-1 that would last in the system for up to a week. And now that is how we have brand names of Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound, Saxenda, etc. They finally figured out what regulated the body's weight, and it was gut hormones. So why did Americans gain all of this weight in the first place? Let's address the problem and not just the symptoms. Shortly after World War II, the food industry became revolutionized with new inventions such as TV dinners, canned foods, and other processed foods. They were marketed to liberate women to get out of the kitchen and spend more free time. We stopped buying fresh foods and ingredients and cooking meals at home. And by giving up this knowledge of where our food came from or growing our own foods and buying these pre-packaged and processed meals, we were convinced that our lives would be so much easier with less things to worry about. No one questioned what was happening to our food at these factories where it was being mass-produced. It was being stripped down, pumped full of sugar and salt, and mixed with food dyes to somewhat resemble its original state. Artificial sweeteners and flavorings became necessary to enhance the taste of the food. For example, vanillin is an artificial flavoring made to resemble vanilla. A significant portion of this commercial vanillin is made up by breaking down wood pulp, which is a byproduct of the paper industry, often through a chemical process. Processed food undermines our satiety in a few different ways. The first is very simple. We chew it a lot less. The longer you chew your food, the more time that your body has to respond and give you the sensation that you're feeling full and should slow down. Secondly, these big name companies have hired very smart people to make a product to leave us coming back for more. They combine these powerful combinations of fats, sugars, and carbs to get us hooked. And if you caught my last video, then this next one is no surprise. Processed food has a ton of sugar, and what that sugar does when it hits your system is it causes a blood sugar spike. Then your body releases dopamine and your blood sugar drops. You want more food in very little time. Processed food doesn't have the protein and fiber that help delay that rush of glucose or sugar into our bloodstream. We also have this crazy obsessions with drinks. Soda, energy drinks, fancy bottled coffees, teas, and even alcohol. These drinks have calories, and it's a lot easier to drink 200 calories or more in just one beverage than it is to go get some water or grab a high protein snack. And finally, so many studies are coming out saying that processed foods alter our gut microbiome, and this is what helps us feel full. Remember earlier when I said that GLP-1s were derived from gut hormones? Well, if our gut has been altered due to these processed foods, we're going to have a harder time to produce our GLP-1s and help us feel full. The healthier your gut is, the healthier you are. So now that we've talked about what a GLP-1 is, let's talk about some risks associated with it. The first is something a little bit frivolous, but Ozempic face. Maybe a little materialistic, but due to such the high, rapid weight loss, people have noticed that their face becomes saggy or it even just looks different. Some might find it bothersome enough that they go on to get fillers or other cosmetic surgeries to make themselves feel better. You also have an increased risk of pancreatitis. Your pancreas is an organ that helps produce your digestive enzymes. These weight loss drugs have an effect on your pancreatic cells and make them sort of angry, so to speak. Some studies say that you are 9 times more likely to get pancreatitis
9 times
after taking a GLP-1. You're also 3 to 4 times more likely to develop a health condition called gastroparesis. This condition is when your body's digestive system slows down and it struggles to move food through your stomach and into your small intestine. The next issue is malnutrition. These drugs severely alter your appetite in addition to altering how your digestive tract functions. So as you can imagine, if you're eating less, you have less opportunities to take in vital nutrients and minerals. People taking these medications do need to make sure that they are eating healthy food options when they do have the opportunity to eat. It may require some supplementation, so be sure to speak with your doctor. And finally, this drug can interfere with your body's reward system in your brain. Your brain's reward system consists of dopamine levels, and dopamine is the neurotransmitter that, when increased, can make you happy or feel pleasure. When dopamine is depleted, you have reduced the ability to experience pleasure. Can you imagine not feeling pleasure when it comes to doing something you do every day, like enjoying a meal? So maybe you're already on a GLP-1 or considering taking it. You do need to consider, are you going to be taking this drug for the rest of your life? Is your insurance going to continue to pay for your medication if the reasons you started taking it no longer exist? What are you going to do now? You're going to change your habits. If you didn't check my last video, we went over some healthy habits to help reduce your blood sugar when it comes to eating your food or how you eat it. Then you're going to need to work with your primary care doctor. You're going to have to taper off the GLP-1 and with their help. Maybe you might even be on another medication that makes it hard for you to lose the weight. Talk with them and make sure that you are open to trying something new. Next, you're going to get moving. You're going to start with baby steps. Maybe you're just going to park your car further away at the grocery store. Maybe you're going to go on a walk 3 times a week after dinner, or you even are going to join me on Thrive for a yoga video a couple times a week. Don't expect perfection. Just hold yourself accountable and stay consistent. Now you're going to take a good look at yourself. What are some of those guilty habits that are holding you back? Can you cut out the smoking? Can you cut out the excessive drinking? Maybe you can swap out some cheese for that spicy bag of chips you have every day for a snack. Make sure you're trying to eat whole foods and are striving to get at least 25 grams of fiber a day. Fiber helps fill you up, and it's also really good for your gut. Remember how I said earlier that the healthier your gut is, the healthier you are? So put those processed foods away and strive to have a snack with an apple, banana, maybe a handful of carrots, a hard-boiled egg, or some cheese. According to the new 2026 dietary guidelines, we should all be striving to get about 0.6 grams of protein per pound that we weigh. Now for me, that comes out to about 80 grams of protein. And do I get that much protein every day? Heck no, but I'm trying every single day. Baby steps in the right direction are better than just sitting around doing nothing. Just some final warnings about the GLP-1. These drugs are so new that we have no idea what sort of long-term effects they're going to have on the human body. If you're struggling with your weight, you need to talk to your primary care provider. Be honest and make sure that you find a primary care doctor that is open and willing to listen to all of your concerns. Today's video was produced with the help of Johann Hari's book, Magic Pill. Hari is a British author who is also an investigative journalist. He writes from all sides of the story, giving his readers the full picture. I highly recommend anyone who is thinking about or who is already on a GLP-1 to read his book. And as always, subscribe to my channel so that I can continue to educate you on today's latest health topics. May your journey to a healthier lifestyle continue to thrive.